Tales of the Narrow Gauge, Episode 3, Smudger's Special Passenger. The story of how Smudger came to the Skarloey Railway is an interesting one. A long time ago he had worked on the Mid-Sodor Railway with Peter, Sam, Sir Handel, Duke and Bertram. But he was careless and rude, so the manager had him turned into a generator. Then, when the railway closed, he was found by some enthusiasts who turned him back into an engine. Then he was sent to the Skarloey Railway, where he still operates to this day. Early one morning, the Thing Controller came to see the engines at the sheds at Crosney Kern. As you know, he said, the anniversary of the Mid-Sodor Railway is tomorrow, and a railway historian is coming to write a book on the engines that worked there. He's going to be arriving at Crovan's Gate Station today, and I need an engine to go there and pull the coach. Please, sir, Smudger jumped forwards. You have to take me. After all, of the engines here, I'm the only one who actually worked on the Mid-Sodor. I was made for this job, sir. Please let me go. Duncan and Rheneas were not interested in the job, so said nothing. Very well, Smudger. You can take the historian, but be careful and make sure he reaches his destination on time. Oh, yes, sir, said Smudger, and he quickly left. Later that day, Smudger arrived at Crovan's Gate with the coach. Now, he thought, I just have to wait for the big engine to bring him. Smudger waited, and waited, and waited. But there was still no sign of the railway historian. What's taking so long? Smudger asked angrily. I don't know, replied his driver. I'll just go and ask the station master. He's bound to know what's happened. So he got out of the cab and went into the station building. Just then, tired and panting, Henry arrived. Sorry I'm late, he said. I had trouble finding the coach. At least I've bought the historian. Yes, said Smudger, but you've made me late. Get in quickly, please, sir. I have to take you to the yards immediately. Then Smudger left, eyeing Henry menacingly as he did. Finally, Smudger pulled into the station. Well, sir, here we are. This is the station that will take you to the wharf. There's no need to thank me for the wonderful journey. I'll see you at the celebrations tomorrow. And with that, Smudger left. Excuse me, said the historian, but did you say the wharf? I'm afraid that I'm not heading to the wharf. I need to be taken to Crosney Kern. But Smudger had already left, and there was no one there to hear the railway historian. Minutes later, Duke arrived. He slammed on his brakes and just missed bumping into the coach. Who left this here? He spluttered angrily. Sorry, said the historian. An engine called Smudger left me here, but it's the wrong station. I need to go to Crosney Kern, not Sodor Wharf. Right, said Duke. Leave it to us. We'll get you there. He was coupled to the coach, and he pushed it away. Finally, the two arrived at Crosney Kern. Well, here we are, said Duke. I'm afraid I can't take you into the station as there's currently a train waiting to depart, and it might not leave for another few minutes. But I can let you off here at the signal box if you're happy to walk it the rest of the way. Oh, yes, smiled the railway historian happily. It was amazing to get a ride from the Duke himself. Oh, please, said the Duke. None of that "the" nonsense. Just plain old Duke will suit me fine. I'm sure that you would have liked to have met his grace. Yes, laughed the historian, I'm sure I would. Then he got out of the coach and left, and Duke pushed the coach away. Duke left the coach in the yards and decided he would go and sleep in the sheds. When he arrived, Smudger was dozing happily in the setting sun. Nice day, Smudger. Oh, yes, excellent. I got to take the railway historian, you know. I know, said Duke. And do you think you left a good impression on the railway historian? Oh, yes, said Smudger. I couldn't leave a bad one, could I? Well, I wouldn't be so sure, said Duke, considering you left him at the wrong station. What? Exclaimed Smudger. The wrong station? How could I? Because, said Duke, he was set to come here at Crossley Kern, and you left him at Sodor Wharf. I thought I was taking him to the yards. Yes, said Duke, the yards at Crossley Kern, not the yards at the wharf, but that's where the big yards are. Ugh. Smudger was cross. Nobody told me. And then he went back into the sheds. The thin controller arrived. Well done, Duke. I spoke to the railway historian on the phone and he told me everything. He's very pleased with you. And as for you, Smudger, in future you should be more careful, and when you're taking passengers, make sure to know where they're going. And then the two engines prepared to go to sleep. And they had many dreams of the day to follow, where the big anniversary would await.